October 28th, 2025. I'm currently holding BBAI, ASST, and a single Chipotle call expiring January. Current account balance is 104.30, so I'm looking pretty good. My goal was 1 to 2% gain each week. I need to really find something to put these $60 into. The safest thing that I wanted to go into was cash secured puts, but $60 is not a lot of money to go in on any cash secured put. Like maybe what I'll do is I'll do a cash secured put at zero point 0.5 for ASST, or I'll wait till if BBAI goes down just a little bit, then I'll average down a little bit on BBAI. So I'm still looking for what's the next play for my $60 to be determined. I learned where the volume spike came from on ASST. This guy, Mike Alfred, apparently he's a rich guy who tweets his long-term plays, and people follow him, as you can see, and he's causing the relative volume spikes. He put millions of dollars into ASST, or millions of shares at least, around the zero point 0.9 mark, and he said he just added more shares around 1.35 and 1.37. Coincidentally, if we look at the chart, that is essentially our support zone. So he is the support, him and his Twitter followers. Now, looking at the ASST chart, I was a little disappointed when it broke this upper trend line, but it didn't go down below my stop loss. It did go below my stop loss, but I didn't see an hour candle close. In fact, it was a quick spike downward. Let's see. Yeah, even on the 5 minute, the goal of these candles is to wick people out. I never use stop losses actually like in the app. I always have a trading view alert so that if I get the alert, it it's annoying, but if I get the alert and then it spikes right back up, I'm not going to do anything. This prevents me from panicking and preventing me from getting wicked out. I got wicked out on Amazon and Okta recently, and they are going to the moon recently, and I'm very disappointed in myself for letting myself get wicked out. Where did I get wicked out on Amazon? Look at the 4 hour chart. I got wicked out somewhere down here. So right at the bottom, I saw that accumulation and just let it wick me out. Same with Okta. All the pretty lines I drew on the chart are totally working. I got wicked out right here. Such is life. So I'm learning my lesson. So on ASST, no built-in stop loss. I just have these alerts that ping me if the price goes to a certain level. I'm not going to panic though. I'm going to wait for at least a 1 hour candle close below this. Maybe I'd go for a 30 minute, but look at the 5 minute even. Like it spiked down and spiked up. Someone just shorted the heck out of it and just bought a ton. So that's the kind of games that are played on these smaller cap stocks that you got to watch out for. Um, so a little disappointed in the performance. I really need something that is continually going to beat the market. For instance, I just sold BCRX for a similar reason where it was a nice buy. It got me off to a good start. I bought somewhere down here in this circle, and then I sold somewhere up here once it broke this faster trend line. I think this is still totally a good long-term hold, but for my small account, I can't day trade it, and I want to make sure I'm always beating the market. Next up, BBAI. Yeah, I did a video on this. It just had a downtrend breakout. Let's look at the 4 hour chart and zoom out a little bit here. So it had a nice breakout on really nice volume. Let me point to this down here. Really nice volume on the breakout, high relative volume. Hit this support line, and yeah, this relative volume is looking good as well. So we are seeing some decent volume come in. What I'm looking for, though, I want to see more volume on the upper trend line. So this is a bit more speculative because I don't have that confirmation on relative volume. So I'm really going to be watching if it retests this circle here, which I think it has a pretty good chance to, and then I'll maybe put more of my $60 that are left over into this. I can buy up to 9 more shares. If it does test that, I'll be watching the volume. I do want to see it spike in volume. So let me put a circle there just in case. And I want to see it at least above like this level, somewhere in that range. And that would mean I really want to see it actually above the average volume density. So I'd really want to see it above 1. 1 means that it's double the normal volume. But I'll settle for a little bit less. So anyways, that's what I'm going to be watching for if it retests. We do have earnings coming up. So maybe before then, it'll just kind of bop around sideways. Maybe what we could see is it could just go sideways, like maybe up, kind of like this way. I hope it doesn't break this trend line because I do have a stop loss in place around the 6.28 mark. That's a previous support line. So if it breaks the trend line, hits my stop loss, and I see a convincing close of a 1 hour candle, maybe I'll wait for a 2 hour candle. Then I'll stop out and I'll move on to the next play. That all depends when that happens too. We do have earnings coming out. When is earnings? Let's look here. November 10th. So November 10th, I'll hold at least until November 10th. Leading up to earnings, I tend to trim pretty heavily. So let's see what happens with that. Chipotle earnings tomorrow. To the moon, hopefully. But who knows? We did just break out of a downtrend, and we reached a bottom with a nice supportive trend line that started on nice oversold conditions, and we see relative volume and nice wicks kind of surrounding the area. I really want to see more volume there, but at least this one has nice volume. That third jump upwards, and that kind of kicked off the breakout of the downtrend. So I'm holding the contract through earnings, and fingers crossed. Let's see what tomorrow brings.